everybody. Welcome. That was almost a little too late. Welcome to day 1 of our daily creative challenge. So many good people in the chat. I've been watching. I've been creeping as everybody fills in, takes their seats, puts their backpacks down. What's up, Sam, Valdair, Chad, Sean? Good to see you all. Yes, Austin, I did do the spin. It almost didn't happen, but I did do it. Ralph, how you doing? Good to see you. So if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge, welcome. Like I said, this is day 1, and this is a 2-week challenge that you are going to come out on the other end with some great Photoshop skills. It's gonna be very cool. Yakov, what's up? Yes, I am back. I told you all I would be back, and here I am. Ahad, I just downloaded Adobe, but it does not open. Shoot. Ahad, if you want to tweet at Adobe Care, they might be able to help you. They have some people specialized in downloading and setting up the apps. Catherine, hello. Andres, good to see you. Steve, all the way from New Zealand. Cool. Got all my friends here. Let me welcome you once again. And like I said, this is a 9-day challenge. We didn't start yesterday. Yesterday would have been the welcome stream, but since it was President's Day, we took the day off. So we're just gonna jump into the first challenge today. Head first, but just a heads up, this challenge is gonna run from today until February 28th. So the last day of February, unless it's a leap year. Somebody fact check that for me. Oh, it is, okay. 29th, okay, so the day before the last day of February is when it's going to end. And we're gonna have these live streams every day. So let me introduce you to the landing page for the Daily Creative Challenge, and this is how you can get set up and register so that you can know what challenge is happening every day. By the way, I'm Kathleen. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm a designer here at Adobe, and I've been hosting Adobe Live for a long time. It's my home. Ryan says challenge time. Yes, here we go. So if you do want to join the challenge, you can go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. Even if you go to behance.net/daily creative challenge, it should take you here as well, and you will land on this landing page. So it has some introductory information, but the most important thing is this big blue beautiful button at the top that's going to register you for the challenge. So when you land here, and if you want to participate, let's register. I will do it right now. Click the button. It's that easy. Super awesome. So this is prompting us to join the creative community. And if you are not familiar, the creative community is hosted on Discord. It's a Discord server. It's free. It's basically a giant chat room that's running 24/7. It's really cool. You can open it up in your browser like I'm doing right now. Look at all that. But you can also download it on your computer as an app. So I have the app as well. And when you do open it, you'll notice that there are a bunch of different channels on the left. There's a lot going on over here, but what you really need to worry about, or not worry about, but put your eyes on is this current challenge channel. So it's over here in the left under feedback. Current challenge, there you go. And this is where you're going to post your works in progress to get feedback from the community. So if you're working on today's challenge and you have a question about the typeface or the blend modes, you can post it here and people can give you a little bit of feedback. If you're not familiar with feedback, get familiar because we're gonna be doing a lot of it in the next 2 weeks. So let me go back to our landing page. So once you register, each day you're going to receive a challenge. You can either receive it here on this landing page or on Discord. And then you can join us for this live stream. That's gonna happen at 9 a.m. Pacific time every morning, Monday through Friday for the next 2 weeks. With me, I'll be here taking you through every day's challenge. We're gonna do my little take on it, maybe teach you some workflows, and then you can fly with your new skills and make something very cool. And then finally, once you have posted your work to get feedback on Discord, you can post your finished projects on Behance, which you will end up with an awesome portfolio piece by the end of the 2 weeks. Very cool. Carrie says, just to say hello, no time to listen to the challenge right now. Carrie, we miss you. Come back later. Thanks for stopping in. Shuv says, we are excited for Adobe Live. Yay, welcome. Chad says it is Adobe Live. I'm wearing my PS shirt today. Chad, I was gonna wear my Photoshop shirt today because it's a very special daily creative challenge, you guys. It's Photoshop's birthday. It's turning 30. That's pretty wild. Show of hands in the chat if you are older than Photoshop. Let's see those hands. Or younger. Let's do the baby emoji if you're younger and the hand if you're older. Let me see those emojis. But since it is Photoshop's birthday, we are going to be celebrating a couple different times this first week during the challenge. So we're going to start with designing an invitation for Photoshop's birthday, because even software gets a party. And we're going to be focusing on blend modes. It's just an easy way to jump into Photoshop. It's pretty simple, but it comes out with a really cool result. Happy birthday, Photoshop. Yeah, really, happy birthday, Photoshop. Okay, so if you do want to start with the same file that I'm going to start with, go ahead and click Get Started here, and it will take you to some starter files. You don't have to do this at all, but it's a nice way to get started. We got lots of hands in the chat. Very nice. I am younger than Photoshop, but not that much younger. Francisco is the same age. Alrighty, so this is Photoshop. This is the invitation that we are going to be designing, but this is the finished product. I just wanted to show you first how we are going to use just a couple simple workflows and blend modes to come up with this cool kind of intergalactic in your computer. I don't even know. It feels very Photoshop though, right? It's got that classic Photoshop blue. But this is the starter file, and this is where we're going to start. It's just a couple layers layered on top of each other, and we're going to change a couple things around. But if you're totally new to Photoshop, let me just introduce you to the Workspace really quick. So over here on the left, we have our toolbar. That's where our tools live, and you'll notice there's a little bit of a shout out to the toolbar in the starter file. This is just a screenshot. It's nothing too proprietary or fancy. And then up here at the top, we have the control bar. This is going to change depending on what tool you have selected. So we have our different tools, and then up here we can control the tools and change our properties and settings. Okay, and then over here on the right side are all of our panels. So imagine this as kind of your palettes, your toolbox. We have our adjustments. We can do swatches or gradients or patterns. It's very cool. This right side of the screen is hyper customizable. So you can grab things, pull them out, move them around. If you have a second monitor, a lot of people have all of their panels on a second monitor, but you can really do what you need to do. You can close things, close whole groups, etc., etc. And if you get a little too wild with this, no worries. Let me just do this really quick. You can always reset your workspace by coming over here to this workspace icon up here in the top right. Click. Reset. I'm using essentials because that's all we need here. I'm gonna close a couple of them. And there we go. Back to where we were. Gina says I started with Photoshop 3. Oh my goodness. I think I started with Photoshop Elements, the one before CS 5.5. Maybe? I got it with a Wacom tablet in like middle school. It's wild. Aurelia says this reminds you of Tron Legacy. It is very Tron-esque. Totally. Nor says, who started with Photoshop that cameo and floppies? Oh, with floppy disks? I thought you were talking about camouflage. It's like, what? Floppy disks. Yeah, that was a little before my time. I definitely know what they are though. Alrighty. So let me show you even how to make a new file if you want to get started from scratch. We're going to go to File, New, and since we are making an invitation, I just made a postcard dimension, so that's 6x4. So we'll come over here to our details and change that to 6 inches by 4 inches. Drop down for inches, enter in 6. The height will be 4. That will make the orientation into landscape. And let's up the resolution because we're going to get this printed, obviously. So we might want 300 or just about there. Now, if you want to look at some already pre-made templates, you can come up here to the top. If you're going to do something photo related, we have some different sizes for that. Print related, which is what we are going to be working on. There's a couple different sizes for that. And there's also really cool templates that you can download for free from Adobe Stock. These are all free. Just download them with a click of a button. This one might be good for what we need to do. Go ahead and play with those if you'd like. But for now, we're just going to do 6x4 at 300 ppi. Great. Okay, now we have our file and we can start adding elements. So the first thing that we want to do with this invitation is add the background. I just downloaded it from Adobe Stock because I didn't need to recreate the wheel if it already existed in a stock library. So I'm going to go up to File, Place Embedded, and find my file. Here it is. Place it. It's a pretty big file, so it's thinking. My computer's been chugging a little bit recently. It's a little slow these days. Might need to delete some files. Reset the mainframe and such. Okay, looks good. Now to commit my transformation changes, I'm going to hit Enter or click this check mark up in the control bar. There we go, we have our background. Now the next thing that we should do is add our type, because for an invitation, the information on it is kind of the most important part of it. We need to know when it is, where it is, what it is, who, what, when, where's, and why's. So let's come over here to the toolbar. I'm going to find my text tool. For some reason, the text tool always evades me. I'm not sure. It's always in the same space. I know it is, but it's like I'm blind to it. I got text blindness. Steve says, I remember the first Photoshop event you went to in Vancouver. It's astonishing how well presented it was for version 4. Wow. Man, Steve, that's a lifetime ago. That's so cool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, do Command or Control plus if you're on a PC. And to add text to a Photoshop document, all you have to do is click, and it will make a text box for you. Now, it inserted some lorem ipsum for me already, but I can always change that, and you can just type. Now, this is huge, so I'm going to select all by doing Command or Control A, and you can just grab the slider up here at the top and decrease the size. You'll notice over in the right side on my panels, you can also change the size over here in our Properties panel. So I'm dragging here, and you can always pop open this menu and change things more specifically, or just type it in. 100. There we go. So that is how you enter text in Photoshop. If you want to quickly commit the text, you can do Command and Return or Control Return. That's an easy way to get out of the live text mode. Now I already have the text set out in the starter file, so let's just pop over there and work from there. Goodbye, file. You helped us out. Thank you. What's up, D? Good to see you. Alrighty, so here we have our text already set out. I'm gonna increase the size of my layers panel just a little bit so we can see what's going on over here. Now this is identical to what you can download, so if you're just starting, this is where we're going. I'm gonna twirl open my text group with this little arrow over here, and now I can turn on and turn off my layers as I need to. Now let's start with the Photoshop and turns. The big part of this workflow is we're going to be playing with blend modes to have things interact with each other and be a little bit see-through and cohesive in their color. So for Photoshop and turns, we're going to apply the same blend mode, and that is going to be linear dodge. I've got my notes down here. There's so many different blend modes, I have to note them down. All right, so for Photoshop, let's change that blend mode. To change one, you're going to come here to your layers panel and open up this menu. It says normal right now, so it's in normal mode. And if I open it up and hover over my different options, you'll notice that the text changes a little bit. And if you've had a DCC with me before, I usually cover blend modes in the first day or two, just because it's very simple, but it makes a big impact. Now, I think I chose, linear dodge add. And I like that because it introduces the texture from the background image. And since this is kind of like a neon Tron-esque, like Aurelia said, design, I really liked how it changed from this bright blue to an even more glowy blue with these stripes behind it. So you can feel free to play with different ones as you see fit, but I'm gonna stick with linear dodge. I'm gonna apply that to turns as well. There we go, it's already starting to look more Tron-y. More Paul Tron-y. Ooh, Fulintas wants to know, will you show some blend if tricks? That reminds me of Jesus Ramirez. He's the first person who taught me about blend if. Maybe Fulintas. I don't think that's in the curriculum for any of the challenges that are upcoming, but maybe I can throw it in, kind of off the cuff. That's a good idea. Thank you for that. Abraham says blends are so essential, right? Abraham, what's your favorite blend mode? Almost said flavorite. What's your favorite blend mode? All right, so we've got Photoshop and turns. They have their blend mode applied. Now for the information for the actual location and time, this is the really important information, but it's less exciting. So I'm not gonna change the blend mode. So it's gonna be very clear and easy to read, but I'm also gonna keep it a little bit smaller because no one really cares that it's today or from 6 to 10. Everyone wants to know it's Photoshop's birthday. So exciting. Alrighty, so let's move on to the 30. Now, for 30, let's see what I chose. Oh yes, very exciting. I'm gonna jump down here, play with a couple of them. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. I like it that it kind of almost has a gradient because it's more warm up here and cooler down here, and it's integrating all of those colors together. Abraham says multiply is his favorite, or vivid light. I like multiply too. It's always helpful. But I just want to see how these all look. Nice, there's almost some built-in dissolve texture in here. If Tim was in here, he'd be like, no, dissolve. Not the biggest fan of dissolve, I don't think. All right, yeah, let's do color dodge. Like I said, I really like how it's pinker up here, bluer down here. It's interesting. Happy birthday, Photoshop. Yes, D. You like that flavorite? It's my favorite flavor. Okay. So one other great thing about blend modes is it's a good way to blend images together. The things that I just did were more of effects. They kind of made it look like it's glowing. It combined them and blended them a little bit, but for this toolbar, we just want to get rid of this gray background. We want it to totally blend into the background. So let's play with some of these blend modes and see which one will help us do that the best. There's a lot of blend modes that will focus on the darker pixels of a layer. There's a lot that will focus on the lighter ones. And we want one that will get rid of that background and leave the light pixels. So for us, maybe pen light is a good option. It leaves kind of a ghost of those white pixels and gets rid of that background. Without having to select anything, it just makes them transparent. Abraham says, love the way that we can scroll modes, right? That's relatively new in the last couple years. Okay, cool, so we have all of our blend modes applied, but the colors of this feel a little bit disjointed. It feels a little bit all over the place with this bright blue, and there's dark blue, and there's kind of red and some pink. So I'm gonna apply a solid color fill over the entire image, but apply a blend mode to it so that it is transparent. So to apply a solid color, we're going to come down here to our adjustment and fill layers. I'm going to choose here at the top, solid color. And that's going to apply just a wash of color across the entire document. The cool thing about solid colors, fill layers, is that you can change them on the fly. You don't have to then fill them with a paint bucket or anything like that. You can just click, choose your colors. I actually have the code of the color that I want to use if we're going to get specific. It's IFDAFF, similar to that typeface color that we used. And then let's play with the blend modes to get something cool going on here. We want to apply kind of a blue wash over the entire thing. Ooh, we definitely want this to stay cohesive so that it is strongly designed. Now something that's helpful for when you apply a solid color fill is these four at the bottom. These focus on kind of one color. So if we choose hue, it's just gonna take the color that we chose and apply it on top of everything. And there we go, it's very Photoshop now. It's got that beautiful Photoshop mnemonic blue. It's glowing a little bit right here. We have this toolbar over on the left, and we have all the information we need. I love how this changed. With just blend modes attached, it looks like this is a laser. It's super cool. We didn't have to do anything crazy with effects, just blend modes, easy peasy. Noor says, Photoshop turns 30. Yes, on the 30th of February, a surprise will pop up on your Photoshop. Very tricky, Noor, very tricky. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do to get this out of Photoshop is export it. We want to share it on Discord to get some feedback, and then I'll also show you how to upload it onto Behance for your final portfolio. So to export a file, all you do is go to File, Export. You could do a quick export as PNG. That will have a lower file quality and image quality. but it's a quick way to export an image. Let's do export as, so we have a couple more options. Cool, JPEG works great. Let's make this a little bit smaller, just since it's gonna go on Behance. It doesn't need to be that big. I'm gonna do 1200. And when I do that, it will automatically change the height to match that. It will also scale automatically. Okay, export it, put it where we want it. Let's say day 1, invite, done. It's always a curse to say something's done, but I'm doing it anyways. Does that mean Photoshop is officially an adult? I think it's been an adult for a while. It's entering another stage of life. Okay, let's get this uploaded onto Discord. So like I mentioned before, if you join Discord, and if you want to do that, the link is bit.ly/PSDiscord, capital P, capital S. Oh, thank you, Paco. Appreciate it. It's really easy. Just click that link and it will take you to either the web browser, or if you have the app installed, it'll just open the app for you. Once we are in the Discord, we're going to come over here to current challenge. I'm going to come down here to the bottom. Oh, thank you, Paco. You are quick on the draw today. All right, here in the plus icon, we'll click that. Day 9, that's from the last DCC I did. Don't worry, you're not getting a sneak peek of day 9 for this challenge. Alrighty, here we go. Navigate to your file. You could also just drag your file onto Discord and upload it that way, but we'll add a comment. Let's see, what am I wondering about for this design? Is the information about the whereabouts of the party clear, or should it be more prominent? Spelled whereabouts wrong. Don't worry, Discord has spell check. Thank you, Discord. We'll upload that, get some good feedback, and say, for example, that I got some great feedback, I made some good tweaks to my Photoshop document, and I re-exported a new final file. Then we would upload it to Behance. So let's jump over to Behance. We'll jump to my profile, and I might need to log in to my different profile. I do! Classic, classic. So I'll sign in here really quick. And while I'm doing that, you can let me know, chat, what is your favorite Photoshop tool? Since it is Photoshop's birthday, we need to know. We need to give some Photoshop appreciation. I think my favorite tool is probably the brush tool as a digital painter. I can't deny my background or my roots. Abraham says, PS is life. Oh, Carol says Photoshop should now officially stop aging, should never be over 30. That's how it works for everybody, right? 30 forever. Okay, cool. We are into our profiles, and if you want to make a new project on Behance, it's super easy. We have another blue, beautiful button at the top that says Create a Project. Let's do that. And when we do so, it's going to allow us to upload a file. So I'll click that. Now you're seeing a sneak preview of everything that's going to happen. Don't screenshot this. That's okay. I can give you a sneak preview. It's Photoshop's birthday. Ooh, Jason says content aware fell. Nice. And in here, we can even insert some text that might say day 1, birthday invite. There we go. If we move on to number 2, we can have a cover image. It will automatically use the image that you just uploaded, so that's fine. You could even zoom in or zoom out a little bit. I'm going to zoom in and have it be a little more, not as specific. Cool, looks good. And I'm going to do Photoshop DCC February 2020. You can name it whatever you like, but that's what I'm going to use. And then in discoverability, I'm going to make sure to put PS Daily Challenge in here, because that's how you can find each other's work. Oh, also add some creative fields, of course, of course. Let's do graphic design, illustration, and branding. Perfect. Publish, and there you go. We have our first project published. If I go back to my profile, There you go, there it is. So make sure you get those uploaded onto Discord to get some good feedback, and stick around for the next streams because we've got more awesomeness coming up next. We've got Anna and Paul, I believe, coming up right after me to do some amazing Photoshop magic. So let's see this schedule. Yes. Anna is awesome. You definitely want to stick around if you are interested in compositing. We have our daily creative challenge coming up after that with Andrea, then some digital imaging. Ooh, I love that, digital imaging. Then following up with the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Hawk. It's going to be great. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. and upload to Discord. I can't wait to see your work. Bye, everybody.